detail, halt.
Bob Smith, please come forward.
About face. Order, arm. Parade, rush.
Thank you, Harry. For so many wonderful years doing everything for your ceremony. And thanks to this crowd for coming out on a day like today. I'm just not speaking loud enough. That's something unusual. I'm glad everybody came out today, and I do want to let everybody hear. I see a lot of new faces. I mean, I've been here for many years doing this, and I see a lot of new faces. How many here are here for the first time? Wow. Well, we're very, very glad you came. It's something we have. How many here know that the POW-MIA, National League of POW-MIA Families, is located here in Falls Church? Yeah, it's up there by the Kentucky Fried Chicken on Columbia Pike. And, they've had a lot of problems here with this pandemic to try and get the families together. And, the cost of maintaining all that is still tough. So next time you think about it, think about the families too. And know that they are doing everything they can for POWs and MIAs to bring them back. And we have a gentleman here from AmeriCal Division from the Speakers Bureau that I think is going to be working with them in the near future. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. We'll now have the national anthem sung by Bob Patillo, retired United States Army.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
God, we thank you for the numerous blessings you have bestowed upon our nation. Out of the many nations of the world, our country has been blessed with a singular opportunity to demonstrate how peoples of many faiths and heritages can live side by side and enrich one another's lives through friendship and the sharing of our unique traditions. We are united in this day in a solemn act of gratitude to those who have served in our nation's defense, to those who have risked their personal safety to save the lives of others, and above all, those who have died serving this country. Their sacrifices are forever remembered by us and by our children for generations to come. We do not forget. Our hearts go out to those serving today in our armed forces and to their families. Those here who are veterans of previous wars know best of all what they must be feeling, what their spouses and children are feeling, and what they pray for. In all our many faiths, we are united in this. Our prayers are with those who serve our country today. We ask God that they may return speedily and in good health and safety to their loved ones. And may God grant each of us the wisdom to uphold this nation's virtues, that it may continue to serve as a beacon of liberty and harmony between peoples for all the world to see. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Sachs. You may be seated. Usually I give the next speaker credit for the weather, and I guess I'll do the same thing today. Please welcome our mayor, David Tarver. David.
Thank you, Harry. I appreciate credit for the weather. It's probably about all I can take credit for these days. But thank you, Rabbi Sachs, for the moving invocation. And welcome to everyone to the 2021 Falls Church Anniversary Celebration. This year's ceremony is one of the first public events that we've hosted as a city since March of last year. Can you all hear me, by the way, or is it too? Can you hear me? Okay, great. So this is one of the first events we've had since March of last year. It's great to see you all. It's great to see how the lower half of your faces look. It's been so long since I've seen the full face of somebody. But it's fitting that this is the first in-person gathering, is to honor those who have given their lives to their country and to protect our freedom. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize some of my colleagues in government. Almost the entire city council is here, as they are almost every year. Dave Snyder, over there. Phil Duncan, over there. Letty Hardy, next door. Debbie Hiscott, newest member of the city council. And Mary Beth Connolly. I'm going to get back to you in a second. Vice Mayor Mary Beth Connolly. Get a clap. Let's get some applause. There you go. All right. I would like to introduce a few other folks as well. I just met the son of our keynote speaker, Daniel Reinford, who just graduated from the Air Force Academy and is going to MIT next year to study nuclear engineering. So let's get a big round of applause. Commissioner of Revenue, where's Tom at? Tom, you here somewhere? Oh, there he is. All right, let's give him a round of applause. Lindy Hockenberry, our Grand Marshal. Where are you, Lindy? There she is, our Grand Marshal. We also have senior staff with us. Wyatt Shields, the city manager. Wyatt is, there he is. Our assistant city manager, Cindy Messner. Cindy, where are you? There she is in the back. She goes back to the good right blue. Mary Gavin, our police chief. And Scarlett Williams. So let's give a big round of applause for each of them. And I wanted to come back to Mary Beth Connolly briefly. Today is her birthday. So apparently she says she's finally old enough to drink. So we asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said a parade. So we're at the city's having a parade later this afternoon. So Mary Beth, that's right. But in all seriousness, I want to thank Bob Smith and the Greater Falls Church Veterans Council, representatives of the local American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War Post, and the others who've organized this event. And a big thank you to our Master of Ceremonies, Harry Shelton. Harry's been leading these events so long, we now measure his tenure in cicada cycles. And he's almost up to 2. So Harry's led this special event since 1994. That's really incredible. So thank you for your dedication to our veterans. Well, Veterans Day and Memorial Day are times when we come together as a nation to give thanks and honor our military men and women for their sacrifice. While Veterans Day is a celebration of Thanksgiving service, Memorial Day is a somber reflection of the price of freedom. Each Memorial Day I'm drawn back to Lincoln, perhaps because he carried the weight of the cataclysmic struggles of his era. It gave us words to express how we grieve for the heavy sacrifice and loss of war. his Gettysburg Address. We've come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that this nation might live. It's altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. Lincoln's words continue to resonate. This past year, like in his day, the country faced seemingly insurmountable division and enormous challenges. Hundreds of thousands of deaths, millions ill from a global pandemic, a reckoning of racial disparities in our criminal justice system and society as a whole, assault on our capital, and a bitterly contested election even after the votes were counted. And just as in Lincoln's time, we must rededicate ourselves to core American beliefs and ideals to ensure that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. It's never been more important for us to affirm our American values and to focus on what unites us. We honor our heroes who joined the battle for liberty, equality, and freedom, and for those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. On this Memorial Day 2021, our country calls upon us once again to renew our allegiance, to celebrate our shared values, and to move forward together in this great but always fragile experiment in self-government. Let us answer this call. Before I close, I'd like to thank Scarlett Williams, the City Special Events Coordinator. Where are you, Scarlett? Are you around here? I can't see Scarlett. And the rest of the Recs and Parks staff for putting together these festivities today. Daughters of the American Revolution for the lovely flowers. Falls Church Concert Band over there, led by conductor Robert Little for the wonderful music. Sergeant Major Robert Patillo for that incredible singing voice. And Master Sergeant John Abracemento, who will play taps later in this program. I also want to invite you all to stay for a concert by the Marine Corps Band in Cherry Hill Park at 12:30, and later a parade from 2:30 to 4 p.m. Finally, thank you to all our veterans, and thank you to all of you for joining us here today. Celebrate to enjoy this wonderful day. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, David. Jerry Gibbon, please come forward. Jerry is the chairman of the council, the Falls Church Area Council of Veterans, and he has a few remarks.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today and celebrate this wonderful day. Who could have asked better weather? To our mayor, vice mayor, council members, staff, thank you for being here. On behalf of the Greater Falls Church Veterans Council, welcome to the 2021 year celebration of the National Memorial Day in this little city. I'm the chairman of the council, which has included recognition of the 3 veterans organizations here: the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War, and the Catholic Veterans Association, otherwise known as Catholic War Veterans. With us today is our vice chairman and past commander, Bob Smith, who gave the speech recognizing the MIA. Also, our secretary treasurer, Richard Anton, who you saw in the presentation of the flags. Thank you, Harry Shevlin, for being the MC. And Harry's done this for several years, so he has quite a good background and experience with this. Scarlett Williams, for coordinating this special event. It sounds like we all come together just right, but it's actually Charlotte who makes that happen. My hat is off. The corona pandemic has had a devastating impact on our veterans membership. We lost our founding member, Marvin McPeter, this past year, who served as chairman of the council. Joseph Bauerfein, who was our first vice commander, and Arthur Troller of the Catholic War Veterans, as well as others. One came to mind just a moment ago, is our past council member, Mr. Seeds, Dan Seeds, who passed away this past year, almost 12 months ago. A Navy veteran. So remember him as well. Let's also remember Steve White. He was a champion for the cause of veterans and headed the Military History Association in Falls Church for as long as I remember. Steve was the owner of a very nice car carrier, which we used for many years to provide the basis for our Memorial Day and Veterans Day float. The Greater Falls Church Veterans Council has been in operation since 2001. The council created it out of the local efforts of veterans posts serving in the city. Again, the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War, and the Catholic War Veterans. When the Veterans Council was created, there were 4 main missions. The first was to liaison with the City of Falls Church, so that they would be aware of the needs of the veterans that live here. The liaison, too, with the Veterans Administration and the Virginia State Veterans Affairs Office, a new creation in the last 10 years. We also provided coordination with joint programs between each one of the posts that reside here in the city. And finally, to benefit with training and outreach to the veterans and their families about benefits. One of the outcomes of that is we do have an excellent website. If you're interested in going to that, you can just Google it on the internet. Some of the things that we've done in the past 20 years as part of the council and with the post have been to initiate this Memorial Day and Veterans Day program. It takes great effort and great pride from our membership to put this together for the citizens so they can appreciate our veterans, both past and present. We support the City Council's efforts to provide tax benefits to veterans and their families. They've done a tremendous job this past year, and we're still working on that with them. We've conducted special programs such as picnics, service to the community, as well as our holiday dinners to service the members and their families. We participated in Veterans Salute at the Arlington National Cemetery, which goes on today, by the way, at the Tomb of the Unknown. We've given awards to veterans who've served our great needs and have achieved notoriety in our communities. We have shared veterans recognitions with other organizations in the city, business councils, business bureaus. This is only part of the accomplishments, since these are not limited in scope in any way. They go on every year, year after year. The Greater Falls Church Veterans Council needs your support to continue to achieve these goals. We have in place an appeal program, and we hope you take the opportunity to think about how you can support it in person or in sharing. We're a 501c4 organization certified by the IRS. We're here today to remember our great heroes, leaders, and veterans who are our freedom, defenders of freedom. Without them, there would be no freedom. We salute these veterans on this Memorial Day, specifically, in the little city of Falls Church. Remember that freedom has to be fought for. Freedom is not guaranteed. It has to be won by our patrons in arms of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Coast Guard. Let us not forget and remember them all. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you, Jerry. As Master of Ceremonies, it's my job to basically contact potential speakers to speak at our Memorial Day or Veterans Day ceremonies. I was lucky enough to have a few suggestions from previous speakers as to who I should ask. And so I'm going to take the advice of Congressional Representative Don Beyer when he said that the introduction of the speaker should be not longer than the speaker's presentation. And so I'm just going to let Ed Reinford tell you about himself. He's a colonel, an Army retiree, reached the rank of colonel, and he can tell you all about himself and Memorial Day. Please welcome Ed Reinford.
Well, a couple things. Harry reached out to me and he asked me if I would do it through Tracy Root recommendation, so I owe you. Thank you. And he said, I said, what should I talk about in this speech? He said, all right, talk about Memorial Day and the significance of it for the first part, and anything you want. I said, anything I want, Harry? He goes, anything you want. Okay, so I did. My first version was torn up by my wife, Lieutenant Colonel Sandy Reinford, an Army JAG. So this is the 10th version here. I'm going to give you the first version, Harry, because it was pretty well. That being said, addressing such important people, I was always told the 3 B's. Be brief, be brilliant, be gone. I will try to do that very quickly. I know it's hot, so here we go. Sandy, this is for you. Distinguished guests, fellow veterans, the great people of Falls Church. I'm truly honored to be part of this Memorial Day ceremony, our annual recognition of the most selfless people we will ever know. In truth, I was voluntold by Harry Shovlin that I will do this. And those that know Harry understand that no is not an acceptable answer. So to Harry and the great people of the American Legion and VFW, who do so much for America's veterans, to keep alive the memory of our fallen, I'm officially reporting for duty today. Memorial Day, formerly known as Decoration Day, is the most sacred to those in uniform. Decoration Day originated in the years following the Civil War, and in 1971 became an official federal holiday known as Memorial Day. Memorial Day commemorates the men and women who died while in military service of their country, particularly those who died in battle as a result of wounds sustained in battle. In other words, the purpose of Memorial Day is to memorialize the veterans of those who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. In 2000, Congress established a national moment of remembrance, which asked that all Americans pause for 1 minute at 3 p.m. in an act of national unity. 3 p.m. was chosen because that was the time that most Americans are enjoying their freedoms of the national holiday. So what does Memorial Day mean? Well, to each person, it means something different. For some, it means the official kickoff of summer. Others, a well-earned long weekend to be with family and friends. For some, perhaps a great joy and sadness as we miss those who departed from us too soon, like those who fought to give us the freedom we enjoy today. I can say with a clear conscience that any of these meetings are okay. And those that I have served with, and those who never made it back home, they would have wanted us to celebrate this day in any of those fashions, because that means we're free. Those who gave the last full measure of devotion for this holiday wanted nothing less for Americans to be free and to be happy. They sacrificed their tomorrow for our today. This incredible act of bravery and selflessness is inspiring, and for some it's frustrating. It's frustrating because we don't know how to adequately honor such heroism. Frankly, how do you repay someone who paid for the freedom we enjoy today with their very lives? But what if we could, in some small measure, pay it forward? What if we gave up part of our today so that others, less fortunate, can have tomorrow? All the brothers and sisters in arms with whom I serve, those who made it back and those who didn't, they all had three things in common: a love for their country, a deep sense of empathy, and a strong desire to make life better for those in need. So how can we help? How can we give back? What if our country had a national service program? Many countries around the world do, and they're better for it. When we Americans come together for a cause greater than ourselves, we are at our best. Our greatest strength is our diversity. Whether you believe it or not, I can promise you it is true as I've seen it. Coming together to help those in poverty, to free the oppressed, to heal the world with our nation, united as one, we are truly an unstoppable force. National service is not just the military. National service can be any volunteer organization. For example, what if you work as a volunteer for the United Nations with a group called the Danish Demining Company, which I've met? You would be ensuring the children of Yemen have a safe road to travel and not have to worry about stepping on a mine left by warring factions from the past, giving them a better tomorrow. What if you joined the Peace Corps and spent a year installing portable solar panels on huts in East Africa so that children can complete their homework at night instead of being limited to daylight hours and, like all of us, have a chance at higher education? What a brighter tomorrow they could have. What if you joined the AmeriCorps, National Civilian Community Corps, and spent a year in one of our underserved communities here in America? During that year, you would help rebuild low-income housing, clean up life-giving water supplies, giving people a chance for a better tomorrow. What if you volunteered to sail on the Mercy Ship? The Mercy Ship travels all around the world and pulls into third world country ports and helps save the lives of the poorest in our world. They provide so much needed surgery that allows the most destitute of our world to go back to society and be productive so that they too can have a tomorrow. What if you joined the military? You might be assigned to stand guard at the demilitarized zone in Korea or a ridgeline in Afghanistan. It is dangerous and tiring, but you will stand where few others have. In the freezing cold, you will stand watch arm in arm with your brothers and sisters, protecting the countless millions from this dangerous world, guaranteeing the innocent a new tomorrow. You see, there are so many ways to give back. Now, if you're old like me, and Harry, that wasn't in here, then simple acts like volunteering to help the homeless right here in Falls Church are just as welcome. You can provide a night at the hotel, or provide a meal, or volunteer at the homeless shelter right up the street. And when you help them and look in their eyes, you will see their gratitude and know you have given them tomorrow. So in conclusion, if you really want to honor those that gave the last full measure of devotion, go home and enjoy the day. Hug your kids, your friends, all your loved ones. That is what our most selfless would have wanted. But also think of how you can serve others as our fallen did for you. I would conclude by reading a letter, I would like to conclude by reading a letter from a dear friend and a colleague of mine at the CIA. Her brother sent this note to his family immediately following 9/11. When the time comes, if the time comes, I will go with honor. I've always said that I wanted to be willing to give my life for our country if so required. However, never had I had such a cause that I could and will stand for. It is something everyone in the military has taken an oath for and voluntarily agreed to defend liberty, freedom, and our way of life for our families. loved ones, and all those who come in the future. I'm not looking forward to dying in combat, only stating that I'm willing to do so for this cause, which is much larger than all of us. If the time comes, I know that myself and my military brothers, with full support of our civilian countrymen, will go with honor. God bless America. And this is how his life would end. In late 2002, Lieutenant J.G. Brandon McCombie was killed flying off the USS Truman. Brandon died doing something he loved, for a country he loved. God bless you all, and God bless you.
His friend said he was a good speaker, and I think we all confer. Okay, now we're going to have an interlude played by the Falls Church City Band.
Before we play our interlude, I'd like to thank our sponsors and supporters. Firstly, the city's Department of Recreation and Parks for providing ongoing funding. Secondly, the city's public schools. We have not yet moved into the building that will soon be known as Meridian High School, but believe me, we're looking forward to it. Thirdly, we've gotten help from the city's official music store, Fox Music. We're grateful to them. And lastly, but not least, the staff and people at Walker Chapel United Methodist Church in North Arlington. We have not had a place to rehearse and perform for some time, but they have generously allowed us the use of their parking lot. It may not be Carnegie Hall, but in these pandemic times, it will do. For our interlude, we will perform a setting of the hymn, Almighty Hand, better known as God of Our Fathers, text by Daniel Roberts, written as part of the centennial celebration in 1876, music by George Warren, written sometime later. This arrangement by John Pasternak presents 4 verses of Almighty Hand, God of Our Fathers.
time, we have the tradition of placing the wreath in front of the flagpole. The DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, have been with us, the committee that actually built the memorial, and has been with us as throughout all of the ceremonies that have taken place here from 1994 onward. So at this time, the AR, please place the wreath in front of the flagpole. Please stand. Please be seated. Just as a reminder, there are certain businesses that basically contribute to the various ceremonies that are held here. Today, the beautiful wreath that was just presented was gifted to us by Harris Teeter. Also, the DAR presenter, Lisa Maloney. She was escorted by Harold Chatham, Lieutenant Commander, retired U.S. Navy, and also Richard Anton, member of Post 130. So again, trying to get as many of our various organizations involved. Okay, at this time, readers, please come forward. It's been a tradition here in Falls Church that not only do we have plaques with the names of all the fallen soldiers, all the fallen soldiers who have died, passed away, killed in the various military actions. Okay, as part of our activity, we say just because your name is on a plaque doesn't mean anybody looks at it or reads it. So basically, we go through the reading of the 72 names that are on there, and we use the various speakers from the various posts. Our first reader is Tom. The other readers will not be announced. Tom Quinton.
Thank you, Harry. We'll start with the Mexican War, 1846 to 1848. Henry Fairfax and Charles Webb. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Charles Henry Ashford. William Joseph Rowan Birch. Frank Brooks. Daniel French Delaney. Walter Kirby. William Kirby. Charles Newton. John Reed. James Roby. John Sewell. John Carrick. World War I, 1917 to 1918. Stephen McGroarty. Warner McIntosh. Arthur Morgan.
Ralph Stanball, Walter Kravitz.
Right, Dr. Powell, we read the following. Half of the World War II vet, and Richard Edson will follow thereafter. And I was just doing the stuff to hire the speakers in the microphone so you can hear me. I thought my voice very, very good. Roy Paxton Bryan, World War II. Daniel Budd, Willis Chin, Thomas Cunningham, William Clark, Gore Gilbert, Warner Harley, John Cowles, Norman Leopard, Joseph Patton, Linda Marshall, Paul Martin, Raymond Martin. I'm Richard Valentine, full-time survey, and I want to continue with World War II, 1941 and 1946. Joseph Patterson, Philip Orlando, Paul Waller, William Shear, Ralph Smith, Elizabeth Spencer, Benjamin Franklin, James Taylor, Victor Perot, Edwin Ward, and James Whittaker. I will continue with the Korean War, 1950 to 1955. John Jay. And Bob Hinckley, page 130. I will continue with Vietnam, 1961 to 1975. Sandro Barone, Ernest Bocamp, Charles Paudet, Victor Bonner, Peter Donner, Walter Eves, Arden Lieberger, Neil Monet, William Minnow, Darnell Payne, George Harris, Thomas Reagan, Jeffrey Rake, Bruce Robinson, John Stoller, William Sutton, Ronald Ford, Gerald Holtz, and Richard Weiss. Also, David Francis Strickland, who recently we lost his brother, Mike Strickland, who was a member of ours, stalwart for 45 years of American Legion, Post 130, and we will sadly miss him. And that would be Michael Patrick Strickland. Thank you.
Elena Del Conte, Post 140. Afghanistan, 2001, 2014. Harold Green, Stephen Mace, Ronald Rodriguez. Iraq, 2003, 2011. Andy Anderson, Tenzin Denkin, Javier Pino, and Jonathan Winterbottom. Thank you.
That concludes the reading of our names. We appreciate your time and patience.
Please stand for the prayer of the departed veteran.
Dear God, hold all these brave souls in the palm of your hand. Comfort them and their families. Send angels of protection, love, and comfort to all the servicemen and women still at war. Bring them home safely and comfort their families. All-powerful God, we honor today those men and women, our sons and daughters, husbands and wives, fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers, who have laid down their life for this country. Whether weary or emboldened, quiet or defiant, vulnerable or ready when you call them home. Their sacrifice is too humbling for words, except these uttered in prayer. Loving God, bless them forever in your eternal peace. Cherish their spirit, honor their commitment, send them love, and we will never forget the service they gave. Amen.
Beauregard, retire. Cutler.
Beauregard, attention. Port, off. Forward, march. Honor guard, halt. Order, arm. Parade, rest. Honor guard, attention. Honor guard, attention.
Now, the Falls Church City Band will play God, Company. God Bless America, being sung by Robert Patillo. You may sit or you may stand.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God sweet home.
Aren't we the lucky ones? We are so lucky to have such talent in this city, and I'm glad that you all came out here to share that talent with us. We appreciate your participation as always. We'll see you on November the 11th, right back here, same time, same station, and guarantee we'll have a good speaker. Okay, this terminates our ceremony. Thank you.